What if the reason so many of us struggle with wealth is not personal failure, but structural design? And what if the economic systems that we've been trying to win in was never built with our sovereignty in mind? And what if freedom requires new structures, not just harder work? Great awakening, magnificent people. I am Jazmian D. Welcome to the Generational Rhodium. It is the healing and media component of HWPLP. HWPLP stands for Health, Wealth, Prosperity, Love, Peace. We are a movement-driven investment firm committed to building generational wealth through healing, collective economics, real estate, and venture capital. Please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It really helps us reach the people that this information will resonate with, which includes you, and we are so thankful for you. This episode continues our newsletter series, From Scarcity to Sovereignty, Rewriting Our Wealth Story. Now let's get into this magnificence. Most of us were taught that if we worked hard enough, save enough, and invest enough, we will be free. Let's look at that structure. When we look at the Federal Reserve Distribution Financial Accounts of 2003, it showed that the top 10% held nearly 70% of the national wealth. And with the RAND Corporation 2020 report, it estimated that since 1975, approximately 50 trillion has shifted from the bottom of 90% to the top 1. This is not accidental. This is a structure. It is a system that awards extraction. The American Psychology Association, APA, it did a study on stress in 2022, and it says that it continues to list finances as the leading cause to chronic stress. When wealth is concentrated with scarcity, it becomes normalized, and in turn, burnout becomes normalized, and it becomes a part of the culture. That is not our culture. And psychologically, when we think about it, we internalize it. We compete instead of collaborate. We hoard instead of accumulate. We isolate instead of integrate. In a system that is required for you to abandon yourself in order for you to succeed. It was never, ever designed for your sovereignty, for your freedom of mind, body, and spirit. But we are not here to complain. We are here to build. There's no need to stand in a place of just complaining without action. We need action. Sovereignty is not isolation. It is structure aligned with values. It is wealth that is accumulated and circulated. And it is profit that is protected by the people. And it is ownership that cannot be easily stripped. This is not anti-wealth. We are about making money, but we're not about making money and losing our integrity along the way. We just make sure that we align with that wealth and allow it to flow to us freely. Because healing before scaling, it creates community before you create that competition. There is enough for everyone. We don't need to compete for a small piece of the pie when it's enough for everybody to have. We were only taught that it's only a small amount that we have to compete for. We have to have purpose before profit. We're not rejecting the economy. We are redesigning it so that we participate in a way that it works for us. Now, let me tell you a story. A story of two entrepreneurs. The first entrepreneur moved fast, raised a lot of money, raised a lot of capital, but usually it was in ways that were misaligned in terms of the investments. They scaled rapidly and they chased validation of others. But over time, their ownership is shrank. Their decisions, they shifted. And their value was compromised. And eventually, this entrepreneur became an employee in the company that they founded. How? Sway? How? Now let's imagine the second person. This person builds slower, but with integrity. They focus on healing their scarcity mindset. They structure internally so they retain their ownership. They create alignments with the agreements that they make. And they build community, not just the capital that they make. And years pass. And their validation that they are looking for from others becomes less and less because they're starting to be aligned with their sovereignty, with their true self. And it's a big difference when it comes to being aligned and just operating from what you feel others feel you should do and be. We have to create the structure to keep what is ours. Now let's pause and center and digest that. A quick 4-box meditation. Breath exercise. And this is going to be very quick. I'm going to go through it. I'll say some affirmations. The last one, I won't say affirmation because I want us to focus on the breath. So let's go ahead and get into it. Inhale. I release inherent economic fear. Hold. I remember my creative power. Exhale. I detach from extractive systems. Hold. I build alignment in my structures. Second time, inhale. I release the inherited economic fear. Hold. I remember my creative power. Exhale. I detach from extraction. Hold. I build aligned structures. Last time, inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Let's regulate this nervous system and ground ourselves. Thank you. At HWPLP, we operate with a dual structure economy. One structure, it engages with the market. The other structure, it protects the mission. The public-facing arm focuses on our real estate, our venture capital, and our collective investments. It's transparent, it's revenue generating, and it's strategic. And our private arm is a sacred economic body and our private membership association. And this is a mission-protected, value-aligned, intergenerationally designed to be protected and to last for multiple generations. One builds capital, one protects culture, one operates with the system, one preserves sovereignty beyond it. This is how wealth becomes sacred, not because of how much there is, but because of how much structure there is to protect it. We must shift how we look at building sovereignty. Sovereignty is not theoretical. It is practical. We were born and thus we are free. We were put into a system that made us believe that we were not. This is not conspiracy theory. This is the truth. This is the outright right truth. We were born in this world, in this existence, to be free, not ruled, not regulated, not told what to do. Our internal morals will never allow us to do anything that was against who we are. But when you're disconnected from it, you're not able to do so. We're realigning with it because we are the sovereign beings that we were born to be. We need to make audits of our dependency. Where are you structurally vulnerable? Where does that show up for you? Is it how you were raised? The belief that you were taught there? Is it from society because you felt like you had to adjust and adapt and switch, code switch, when necessary to be successful? Where is it? Where are those vulnerabilities? Separate income from your identity. You are not your paycheck. You are not your investment. Build parallel containers, savings, investment, community pooling, which is very powerful, which is why it is so important for HWPLP. Align your agreements with your values, contracts with your reflection of integrity, and always ask yourself as you move through life and all things you do, money included, do you truly own what you are doing, what you are building, what you are choosing? Do you own that choice? If you do not, you need to shift your experience so that that answer can be yes. You have no idea how powerful you are. Scarcity is inherited. Sovereignty is constructed. We were not meant to survive inside of a system that drains us. We were meant to build a system that sustains us. And we are building. So build with us at HWPLP and build with your community collectively. Let's close with the HWPLP affirmation. Heal your mind, body, and soul. Build the wealth that is your birthright. Live in full prosperity, love unconditionally, and be in a state of peace. And so it is, and so I am, and so it be. I want to thank you so much for joining me for the Generational Rhodium. I am Jazmian D with HWPLP, and I absolutely, positively look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, peace, love, and light. Thank you. Magnificent people, if this message resonated with you, don't just watch, engage, like, comment, subscribe, and join the community where we're building healing and wealth together. Peace and love.